Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and go and lift your hands for the national anthem. First, the national anthem of the United States of America.
inside the Pan Am Sports Center in the East End of Toronto for match number 3 of the day at the Under-21 NORCECA Women's Continental Championships. Spots in the gold medal game on the line now. First up, we have the United States taking on the Dominican Republic. My name is Gavin Day, happy to guide you through this one more time. We will be back with you in just a moment. We'll throw down for the introductions of the starting lineups. And there we go. Bit of a rematch of these two sides from the 2023 U19 Worlds. Well, before that, I'll get to the starting lineups. There you have it. Bergen Riley, Kennedy Martin, Brooklyn DeLay, Terea Sigler, Taylor Harvey, and Andy Jackson. Ramsey Gary is the libero. Heather Olmstead, the U.S. head coach. And on the Dominican Republic side, Aylin Liberato is the captain, Ariana Rodriguez, Catiel Alonso, Phoebe Reyes, Victoria Filpo, and Salani Puente. Kersey Fernandez is the libero. As I was saying, the Dominican Republic coach, Christian Miguel Cruz, these two teams met in the round of 16 at last year's Under-19 Worlds in Croatia. And it was the U.S. coming away 3-0 win in that round of 16 match. A lot of the faces out here today were in that match, and it is the captain, Aylin Miabella Liberato, leading things off. And the first point is a monster block by the Dominican Republic. Alonso getting up there. Catiel Alonso, one-on-one. Brooklyn DeLay not able to finish that one. And pretty nice exclamation mark to start the game. The U.S. went 3-0 in their pool to advance directly to the semis. Bergen Riley, the setter, not able to get much on that, but then launched into the backcourt. And the U.S. not able to get to it. Picked up nicely and just sort of scrambled over. It ends up with the point, and it's an early deuce for the Dominican Republic. And Liberato with another serve. This time, some venom in that one from Brooklyn DeLay. Just a howitzer right at the libero. duck and cover, and it will be delay out of the University of Kentucky with the first serve for the United States. Right there, hammering it down on the overpass to Reyes Sigler. Stuff happens when you get the opposing team in trouble on your serve, and delay caused the overpass with her first serve of the match. This time, though, she does go long, and so back in front is the Dominican Republic. These two teams did play each other in the group stage, the U.S. going away as 3-0 victors. Dominican Republic finishing in third, beating Mexico yesterday. Just to get to this point, the U.S. had the day off. And on the attack, Riley, the setter and captain, picked it up. And Martin, Kennedy Martin, powers it down. Nice setup by Ramsey Gary. The libero had to step in as the setter when Bergen took herself out of the play. Already some thunder here in Toronto. Taylor Harvey out of Salt Lake City, Utah with the serve. And on the attack into the block and down. Ariana Rodriguez matching fire with fire. Going up against the two-player block of the U.S. is wide open, so plenty of opportunity, and she put it right off. Andy Jackson, the American blocker. Riley, not much on that. Good pickup. Can they keep it going? Liberato, tough angle, and it over. And they'll get a second chance at it. Liberato going to bump set this time. Reyes, the tip. And again, Riley's out of the play. Cross court. Big finish to Reyes Sigler. Blind set there by Gary, the libero. And Sigler out of Scottsdale, Arizona. 17 years old. And it's Kennedy Martin out of the University of Florida with the serve. Reyes left-handed. How about that for some skill, flipping it up. Going southpaw. Ariana Rodriguez, certainly one to watch left-handed, but that time it was Phoebe Reyes, the 18-year-old, putting the opposite in opposite. And now it is Rodriguez. She's certainly one to watch for the Dominican Republic. Almost on the pickup. Point goes to the U.S. Going cross court. It's the hand down is Fernandez, but not able to get it up for her teammates, and it's 5-all to Reyes Sigler. Reyes the pass, and Reyes going to get her pass back, this time right-handed. Not able to finish. Riley setting up back court. Reyes is going to go again. Another good pickup by Gary. Third time's the charm. Not quite for Reyes, this time at the net. And the USA have a chance to set up. This time, the block was there, but it was down on the Dominican Republic side. Kennedy Martin from the back row. For a second there, I thought it was down on the Dominican Republic side, or on the American side rather, but it snuck in on the Dominican Republic side. To the pipe, and Alonso, Catiel Alonso, finishes that one off, catching a piece of the tape, and then down on the American side. Reyes, Riley picks her options. Huge monster block is there. Andy Jackson trying to step around. Read well, one-on-one. Alonso stands her up. And it is 7-6 for the Dominican Republic. Now they have a chance in transition. If Fernandez can get to it, she can't. Comes up just short. The opportunity was there. Brooklyn Delay took something off it, and it went off hands, but they weren't able to pick it up. All square once again. Alonso is stood up. Harvey, Riley, monster block. And it was Taylor Harvey. Committed player to the University of Texas, the defending NCAA champions. Andy Jackson going into the net. And it is 8-8. Barnstorming opening few points here. And going right back, keeping it simple. Delay goes off hands and out of bounds. The U.S. are defending U19 world champions from a year ago. And of course, both of these countries rather, will have teams entered in women's volleyball this summer in Paris. On the step around, great pickup, Riley. The bump set from Gary. And not able to match it. A nice bump set and Brooklyn Delay finishing it off, going off hands. Bergen, quick look at the sidelines for some instruction. She goes cross court and an ace. Not the best move to stand and watch that one go by. And with the gap now 3, Dominican Republic calling a timeout. Nobody stepped up there on that Dominican side to go after that serve. And there was just a brief discussion. Bergen Riley paused, looked at the sidelines, and whatever was told worked in the end. There's my name. My name is Gavin Day, everybody. Happy to be on the call this weekend. Up next later on today, the home side, the Canadians taking on Puerto Rico. The winner of this game will advance to the gold medal final tomorrow. The loser will go for bronze. And their opponents will come from that Canada-Puerto Rico game. Now we'll see. As often so happens, the timeouts are called to ice the server a little bit. Bergen Riley, the U.S. captain out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and the University of Nebraska, no stranger to playing in front of big crowds at her college. Alonso, U.S. chance to go on the attack. Delay, cross court, there's a good pickup. Liberato tries the dump. Not gonna work. Delay again. Keep going to her. Brooklyn Delay can unleash it. Delay splits the blockers, finds that opening. And the U.S. now run it up to 4. And an error on the serve receive, and it's an ace. Bergen Riley setting up camp back at the service line. The U.S. has run it up to 5. Riley able to change up their serves, but that time a little jumper goes into the net, not able to get the favorable roll. And Dominican Republic catch a break. And it is the 19-year-old Aylin Miabella Liberato, the captain out of Gaero, the club. Riley, far side, my goodness, Kennedy Martin with the thunder. Just the perfect pass. Riley has her options, goes to that side and unleashes. Now it's Delay. Seeing her at the net. And it's another ace for the United States. Ace serve, Brooklyn Delay. Just spins it down. Fernandez can't get to it in time. Healthy mix of American supporters have crossed the border here into southern Ontario as Brooklyn Delay goes into the net. And it will be Catiel Alonso, 18-year-old, part of the national project, the Proyecto Nacional in the Dominican Republic. That's a good pickup. Fernandez, it is a free ball. The U.S. a little disorganized, but now they find their form and are able to come up with the point. Terea Sigler takes something off it. Nice recovery by Bergen-Riley to set her up. And it's now 16-10 for the United States. Their three-setter earlier in this competition, 25-18, 25-21, and then 25-11. Puts that one long, and she checks back out. Taylor Harvey also checking out of the game. Riley, options to choose. Off the block and out, and that is Kennedy Martin from Fort Mill, South Carolina, from the University of Florida. And she goes back to position one to serve. Goes flat serve, catches tape, great pickup. Gets a free ball out of it. Just enough to keep it in, but cross court. Sigler again. And timeout, Dominican Republic, 19-11. And 19-11, United States grabbing this one by the scruff of the neck. A lot of that has come from the service line, several aces. For the U.S. Not quite another one, but it does put Dominican Republic in difficulty. Cross court, just sneaks that in. And there is the benefit of having Ariana Rodriguez, the southpaw on that side, because it was really tight to the net. And having her with just that little extra space with the left hand allowed her to unleash. And she will go back to serve. She put up 18 points against Mexico yesterday, including 3 aces. Dominican Republic wants to get some luck. They got to get her going. She's shown glimpses here. And there's another ace from her. That'll do well to get you going. Margin is still 6, but every journey has a beginning. If you have Ariana Rodriguez back there, you have a chance. Another good serve, handled well by Gary. And then Jackson with the thunder. Just a mature, composed performance. Ramsey Gary, some great passing. Makes it so easy for your setter, Bergen-Riley, to run the offense when you have all your options available to you. That serve going long. It's Yusady Del Carmen Ramirez, the 19-year-old outside hitter, now into the game and back to serve. And off the hands and out of bounds, Brooklyn delay. It's another point for the United States. They are now 4 points away from taking the first set. Even in the early going, punching and counter-punching, but the U.S. are just showing what kind of class they are in. Set is to Alonso. That one is catching the baseline. And Dominican Republic not going away. And it will be Selani Puente. She put up 14 points against Mexico yesterday. 3 aces. That will not be adding to that tally. She will check back out, and Kirsi Fernandez, the libero, goes back in. And it is Bergen-Riley, the captain, back for another go-around at the service line. 3 points away from taking the first set. And then she picks it up. The bump set from Gary. And the tip. Lovely pancake. Keep it going, and then Alonso wins the point. Hard work gets rewarded. 22-16 now. Liberato, the setter, the captain. So after the serve, if the Dominican Republic can go on offense, she'll be a back row center. And they will not in this case. And that was delay. He's had a pretty good game so far. Already 7 points, 6 of them on the attack, the other coming from the service line. Nice cross-court finish. Gary not able to get to that one. And that was Rodriguez again. Gets that left arm going. And still a little bit of life in this Dominican Republic side. Gary, another solid pass. Riley with her options down the line. There is a touch on the net, I believe. And so the miscue gets the Dominican Republic another point, closing that gap a little bit more. Still a long way to go. Alonso the serve, and it's in for an ace. Catiel Alonso makes it 23-19, and perhaps sensing some danger, the United States calls a timeout. Both sides leading in scoring. Brooklyn delay of the United States with 7 points. Catiel Alonso with 6. Pardon me, she's just added her 7th. And Alonso, she's had points on the attack, a couple in the block, and now a service ace. So Alonso proving her worth all over the court so far. And we'll see if the timeout helps the U.S. Alonso again back to serve. Floats this one. Gary handled well. Riley to the far side. Chance in transition now for the Dominican Republic. But it is into the U.S. block. It's Terea Sigler one-on-one winning that battle. Rodriguez had to backstep a little bit, and that opened the door for Sigler. Now it is set point. And Rodriguez off the block. Riley setting it up very close to the net. Is there a net touch? There is on somebody. They're just calling it straight out. The U.S. may be appealing for a net touch there. The set was to Sigler. Just swipes it out of bounds. Half-hearted appeals from the U.S. and it's 24-20, still set point. Martin, that one finishes it off. Despite a late surge by the Dominican Republic, the USA takes set one, 25-20. Both sides showing plenty as the elite teams in this tournament going head-to-head. Dominican Republic finishing in third behind the United States and Puerto Rico. Nice finish, Kennedy Martin. So often, if you look at Bergen Riley, the setter, when she's at the net, so many passes she's getting, she's not having to move that much. And there is the score, USA 25, Dominican Republic 20. When that happens, she just has so many options to work with. So if she has 3 different options, 3 different attacking players to choose from, it keeps the defenders guessing. As if she's pulled away from the net and she really has one option to go, that'll allow the Dominican Republic to overload with blockers. But when you keep the defense guessing, the opposition guessing, you are going to find all kinds of luck. And the U.S. are just knocking down some haymakers on the attack in that first set. the schedule. That's the one in progress. U.S. Dominican Republic, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Canada taking on Puerto Rico. Canada was 3-0 in Group B. Puerto Rico 2-1, losing to the United States. 7 o'clock Eastern. Look for the link if you're watching it online. And then tomorrow we'll start with the classification games. 7th and 8th, Suriname playing against the U.S. Virgin Islands, and then Costa Rica playing against Mexico for 5th. And then our finals to wrap things up, wrap up the competition. It's been a week of action here in Toronto, Scarborough part of town in the East End. And back out. Andy Jackson taking a seat with Ramsey Gary, the very impressive libero for the United States. So often providing those dime passes for Bergen Riley to set things up. And it was Riley with the first serve, and they'll get a free ball in return. Cheeky little play. Alonso. Watch this, sees no block there and decides to just drop it over and gets a little roll from the tape. And with no Americans close to the net, it dropped in nicely for them. Good point for the Dominican Republic, and it is Crismeli Paniagua into the play, cross court, it's in. Dominican Republic players disagree, and reminder, there's no review, there's no challenge. And we didn't get a second look at that, unfortunately. But it is 1-all. Delay back for the U.S. and puts up an ace. That's her second of the match. Brooklyn Delay, 19-year-old, putting up a fine performance. This time, though, puts her serve long. So the free point for Dominican Republic. Ties this one at 2. And it sends Catiel Alonso back to the line. A tricky player back there at the service line, as we've seen. And get a chance to go on the attack now. And off hands and out of bounds, Yusady Ramirez gives the Dominican Republic the lead. Need prompt towel service to keep the court ready for play. And Alonso will get another go from the service line. She has 8 points to lead all scorers so far. Just another lovely pass. Sets it up. And the Dominican Republic players wanted impeding there. It was on the attack, Martin. And right there, Taylor Harvey. Referees ruled it wasn't impeding any action on the Dominican Republic side. Paniagua now to set. Rodriguez goes off hands. To give the point for the Dominican Republic. Again, that southpaw. You don't see left-handed players often on the attack like that. Delay gets to it. Rare miss pass for the U.S. And Rodriguez again tries to swipe the block. Adds a little power that time, nothing doing. U.S. can transition now. Sigler to the backcourt. Riley, nice set, almost OT over top of the block. Just sort of missed them sideways, nestled nicely into the backcourt. The U.S. with so many different options to choose from. It's Kennedy Martin back to serve. Nice pass. Rodriguez that time into a monster block. The U.S. are starting to sense they're trying to turn to Rodriguez more. Two players there, Jackson and Sigler. And that might be one of those times where Shimona might have tried to swipe it off the fingertips, go high. Instead, she goes right into the wall. And Rodriguez held into bump set that time. And the U.S. little off balance. Sigler can't finish. Alonso now bump set. It will be a free ball. That is if someone gets to it, but nobody does. And there was just looking, and nope. Nobody's going to get to it. Kennedy Martin, 19 years old. Another chance to serve. U.S. up 6-4. And Rodriguez has to bump set this time. Alonso can't get much on it now. U.S. on the attack. Sigler, and a nice block. Rodriguez and Puente. Sigler didn't get too much on it. And it wasn't fooling those two blockers there, I think. Not sure who got that one for Dominican Republic. Either way, it might have been Rodriguez. Ariana Rodriguez back to serve. Their team trailing by 1. The U.S. haven't gone on a big run just yet in this set. Nice serve by Rodriguez. Sigler, they'll get to reset. Sigler again from the attack line. Finds hands, finds the floor. Just takes the bump set. Didn't need a run up. Was well back from the net and just puts it off the hands, and then it drifts down. Nobody stepped up on the Dominican Republic side to pick that one up. And the errant pass. And an ace for the U.S. Terea Sigler. And it's 8-5 for the U.S. Yeah, that's a good one for Paniagua. But then not sure what happened there for Ramirez. It's a nice pass. Paniagua sets it up. And just got under it. Punched it, it looks like. The Ramirez. The U.S. up 9-5. And so is this the first big run for the U.S.? Dominican Republic calling a timeout, trailing by 4. Sigler stepping back out. The U.S. building an advantage here in the second set. They already lead 1-0. Rodriguez, that's a great pickup by Sigler. The set's to delay. Regardless of what happens, look how far Bergen has to move. Not far at all, and just sets it up nicely into Brooklyn delay. And Sigler back again. Paniagua gets the nice pass on the step around. Puente can't get much on it. And the step around for the U.S. is effective for a point. That one was Andy Jackson. See, just again, Bergen, Riley doesn't have to move to run that offense. She just gets those passes. It's going to be another serve coming. And it's right out. Another error. Kersey Fernandez had to set there, and Reyes goes completely wide. No touch whatsoever. And an ace from Sigler. Handcuffs Reyes. And another timeout for the Dominican Republic. They are trailing by 8 points. U.S. lead 13-5. It is predominantly a lot of stars and stripes out here today. As I mentioned, a lot of fans crossing the border, not too far away here from the U.S. in southern Ontario. The GTA is a big sprawling region, but you're not far from a place like Buffalo, New York. A little further afield, Detroit is a couple hours drive away. And then there are other little border crossings closer to the Great Lakes. Anyway, back to it. Toraya Sigler on a roll right now. Puente gets the good pass to the pipe. It is picked up by Sigler. And some nervous Dominican Republic players watched that one sail out of bounds. Big sigh of relief there. And Dominican Republic has 6. Phoebe Reyes. Back to serve. She's picked up a single point so far today. Bergen to delay. Nicely nestled in there behind the block, right around the attack line. Doesn't always have to be powerful. Reading the play well, sees it, rolls it into that opening. Just up and down over the block. Well placed. And it's Andy Jackson. Just turned 19, about 2 weeks ago, June 15th. Bergen now to delay off the block and right out. And merrily we roll along, go the United States. 15-6, 9 points. Comfortable for them, much more comfortable this set. And Puente goes off the hands. And Dominican Republic snuff one out, but they have an ever-increasing mountain to climb. And they trail 8, by 8 rather. And Celani Puente had 3 points against Mexico yesterday, or 3 aces against Mexico yesterday. Could sure use one now. Another great pass to Bergen. Delay, gets her own pass back, but can't finish. Nicely touched over the block. Taylor Harvey. Bergen Riley just sets it into the middle. Just a little poke into that hole behind the block. And Riley now go back to serve. Set very close to the net. Can only push it into the block, back down onto the Dominican side. There was really just one option to go for Paniagua, and that was to that side. That gave plenty of time for the American block to read that play and overload that side. Riley, though, goes into the net. Ismaili Paniagua doesn't turn 18 until August. Harvey. That'll do. Bergen, bit of an awkward set there. Right close to the net. Chance to respond, but just wrong-footed. And Filpo. Brooklyn delay. And it is not off the American block. Back down onto the Dominican side. Paniagua can only really bump set to that far side. It was right close to the net. bump set. Rodriguez can't finish. Rodriguez can't do it again. The sets to Harvey, off the net and down onto Dominican Republic's side. Nice lofted pass to Riley. Sets up Harvey in the middle there. 20-8, US just overpowering in this second set. Rodriguez gets one back. Well, that's what happens when you get a nice pass to the setter. Gets her to pick her spot well, and a player like Rodriguez will take a set like that any day of the week. But it is still 20-9 for the US. Nice serve, rather, to handcuff the US. And the attack goes long. That is Delaney Maleno, 17 years old, showing what good serve can do. Even if it's not an ace, it can wrong foot the defenders. And Ramsey Gary calling herself to let it go out, and she does. She listened to her own advice. U.S. substitution, Campbell Flynn into the game. Taylor Harvey coming out. Campbell Flynn, wouldn't be surprised if family made the trip. She's from Rochester Hills, Michigan, just north of Detroit, so not that long of a drive. Rodriguez on the attack. Riley can't chase it down. Didn't want to run into a trip on the advertising there. Nice work by Brooklyn DeLay just to get a hand to it. Powerful attack. But Riley can't chase it down. 21-11. And Yalan Filpo, the Azua club. Now the U.S. out of system. Vanderwall can't finish. Rodriguez on the attack. Now the U.S. have a chance to establish. Vanderwall again, cross court with the finish. Nice setup there. U.S. were off balance the first time, but they got to reset. A nice comfortable attack for them. Gary again, lovely pass. Vanderwall causing some chaos. Rodriguez with the left hand. Yes, she can. Again, not really a system attack, but again, having that left-hander on that side really allowed them to open up that little space for her to get some power and wrong foot the U.S. And that's just a heck of a serve. Ariana Rodriguez with an ace. Cross court. Can she do it again? Very powerful serve. Riley just dumps it over. She gets the set now. Not able to do it on the tip. Vanderwall. That's a good pickup. They keep it going. Scrambled over. And on the step around, Andy Jackson picks up the point. Fires it off the blocker hand. Reyes was there, but one-on-one, not sealed at the net. It is Abigail Vanderwall putting up an ace for the U.S. 17-year-old Elmhurst, Illinois. Chance to finish off the set and put the U.S. up 2-0. Overpass. Hammered down by Brooklyn DeLay. And the U.S., that one dominant. They take the second set, 25-15. Overpass delay. Meat and potatoes for a middle blocker. She is an outside hitter, but she was in the middle right there. Actually, no, she wasn't. She was on the outside. Either way, tantalizing right at the net and hammered back down. The U.S. takes the second set with a big, big margin and one set away from cruising into the final. There's the score, 25-20 first set, 25-13 in the second set. This facility here in Scarborough, as the name implies, is a legacy of the 2015 Pan American Games. Volleyball wasn't actually played here, though. Volleyball was played out at on the exhibition grounds in the west end of Toronto. It's a lovely facility. The swimming pool's just behind me. Not literally, there's a hallway. And it just had the Canadian Olympic swimming trials. They boast about it, the water being fast. Not sure how that's achieved, but I'm sure science is to blame somehow. Anyway, the legacy of the venue has allowed for this event to be held here. There's also briefly a sort of a semi-pro league that played out of this facility. No longer in operation. Canada, one of those countries that really punches above its weight. No pro league, and yet doing well internationally, playing in VNL, and that women's team coming agonizingly close to qualifying for Paris. But out on the court right now, U.S. and Dominican Republic, two sides that will field senior teams. Dominican Republic also hosting the NORCECA Final Six. So a lot of NORCECA action going on right now. U.S. back out on the court. Dominican Republic side getting some final words. Just making sure everybody's in rotation. We did have in an earlier match a team called for being out of rotation. So it does happen. And Dominican Republic, is this the beginning of a revival? Aylin Liberato, the center, the captain. Start things off. Handcuffs Gary. Puts the U.S. out of system a little bit. And Dominican Republic go on the offensive, and Alonso picks up the first point of the second set, showing again what a good serve can do. Going to Ramsey Gary in the backcourt. She wasn't able to get it to where she needs to be. Riley, the setter, wasn't able to get to it. And just set the ball on that time. Beautiful pass down the middle. Simple, devastating. Taylor Harvey. That is an absolutely spot-on pass from Taylor Harvey. Pardon me, Ramsey Gary. Libero. Harvey is the one who finished it. And Alonso puts it on the line. So there is that potential. You see that power that exists in the Dominican Republic side. Not anything Harvey can do about that. Riley pulled away a little bit from the net. Off hands. Martin picking up the point. And we'll go back to serve. an overpass. U.S. on the offensive now. Riley did not have to move, and Jackson goes off hands for another U.S. point. I'm sure Bergen Riley would say, they make my job really easy. She did not have to move to run the offense on that U.S. attack, and they lead 3-2. Serve goes long. Dominican Republic will gladly take that free point. Anything to prevent one of those long runs that the U.S. has gone on today. Yalin Filippo. Riley. And to the back court. That's just lovely placement. Ariana Rodriguez. Again, having that left-hander on that right side allows her to just aim it for that back corner, and that's absolutely perfect placement. Into the wall, the U.S. can reset. Jackson, backcourt, point U.S. And another good pass. And Jackson puts it where they ain't. And it's Terea Sigler. Oh, sneaky for the ace. Deceptive. Looked like just a line drive serve. And it was one of those, do you take it, do I take it? Nobody takes it. Point for the U.S. and they're in front now. Sigler has been causing fits from the service line. And Rodriguez uncorking. Stopping any possibility of momentum. Now she will go back to serve another one who can be a challenging server. Not that time, though. And it is Andy Jackson. 6 points today, all from the attack. And on the step around, monster block. Could see it coming. Almost too much time to think about it for Liberato. Goes over her back. And the U.S. see that one coming. Get 2 players up for the block. Ramirez will get a second chance, but it's going to be a free ball to the back court. Long set delay, good pickup on the pancake, but it's another free ball. Give the U.S. a second opportunity, and Riley with the trickery. And a good thing is setter dump, fakes it, sells him on it that she's going to set somebody up, but then takes it herself. Nicely done. As long as she looked like she was going to be setting it up. Jackson in for an ace. Again, some miscommunication there. You just see nobody took control. Everybody watched everybody else. And it slotted in there. And Dominican Republic now calling a timeout, sensing the run has begun. Andy Jackson stepping back out for yet another serve opportunity. Having a good run back there. And that time, it was the good move to stand and watch. As that one sailed long, and so the timeout Throws him off just enough. Then it's returned the favor. The free point. Ramirez. That serve never really had a chance. And Riley to go back. Bump set. It's right over, though. In the end, a free ball to the pipe. And another opportunity for Alonso. Cross court, wild swing goes wide. That's now a 5-point lead as the U.S. picking up points, and they pick up another one. They can't handle the serve from Riley. Just not able to get over. She picked the spot that puts him in difficulty, and can she do it again? Well handled this time. To the back row, nice tip. Riley got there to pick it up, but no one else there to get there. Great read, putting it over the blockers. And that stops that service game. Seleni Puente. Riley forced to do a bump set. No problem. Kennedy Martin. Goes beside the blockers. Almost able to pick her spot. Brooklyn delay. Challenging serve. It's just going to be a free ball. Riley picks her options. It's long, not off hands. Dominican Republic catch a break as Sigler goes long. A little bit of a run here. Certainly be to their advantage. Liberato. Another round back to the service line. That's a good serve. Gives them an opportunity to transition. Rodriguez. Right into the block. Wasn't able to get much on it. Shame for them. Liberato with a good serve. Just going off speed. Wrong footing the U.S., but the U.S., as all good teams do, recover and salvage the point. And Rodriguez not able to finish. And off the block. Trickles down to the floor. Not sure if she was caught in two minds of tipping or swinging freely. In the end, caught that block and she couldn't recover to get another round on it. Another chance on the attack. Ramirez, the tip. Ramirez. It is out. Almost salvaging a point from nothing for the Dominican Republic. Change coming for the U.S. Blair Bayless into the game. Kennedy Martin out. Bayless, 19, from Plano, Texas. Now attends the University of Pittsburgh. Rodriguez, the U.S. get a chance in transition. Riley picks her spot. Jackson, step around, big finish. Jackson sees it coming, goes right around her setter. And adds some mustard on that one as Dominican Republic call a timeout. U.S. pulling away again. They lead 16-9 on course for a gold medal final. I've not seen either the Canadians or the Puerto Ricans just yet. I'm sure they are keeping an eye on things as they go through their own preparations. All the teams, this facility, it's on the campus of the University of Toronto, Scarborough. And all the teams and officials have essentially been staying in a a student residence. And it's just a quick walk over to this facility. And it's Blair Bayless. Her first action is an ace. There's a back corner just tempting there. She aims for it and hits it. Beautiful. U.S. now up by 8. And another chance on the attack. Back row. Bayless does it with the attack too. Getting out of position 1. Adding another point. Getting some stats now. Service ace, attack point. The depth of this U.S. program. It's going to be a free ball. And they can recycle. Bayless again. And again, Bayless picks up the point. One-woman wrecking crew. Backs up. Resets her jump, and then there's just an opening there behind the block, down the middle. By 10. Her good fortune comes to an end. Blair Bayless going along. And Dominican Republic are in double digits now, but they have a large mountain to climb. Firpo bump set. Ramirez can just dump it over. The U.S. now has a chance to set up. Jackson. Just a composed attack. And another change for the U.S. Brooklyn DeLay coming in. And Julia Blyashov in for the first time today. West Coaster out of San Diego, playing at Stanford University. And nicely done. Ariana Rodriguez. A good distance from the net. She goes off hands down to the floor, and a brief reprieve. Margins back into the single digits. Just another perfect pass. Couldn't quite sell that time, but no matter, the block is there. Jackson and Riley. That'll be Jackson claiming that one. Another change for the U.S. Taylor Harvey is out. Favor Anyanwu into the game. Turned 18 just 3 days ago. Out of Rowlett, Texas, now playing at the University of Southern California. And then a miscue for Dominican Republic. And they sense the heads dropping a little bit. 11 points to the U.S. Arias, wild swing. Julie Arias, 16-year-old, missed her coming on for the change, and not even a chance of going off hands. And chalk it up to a learning experience. We all know the quality of the Dominican Republic program, so there is no doubt this team will be back. They get a chance to play for bronze too as Arias goes long. But the depth of this American program on display today. Andy Jackson, chance to seal it. And shrug, not able to quite do it. Still match point though, 24-12. Useri Ramirez. What kind of magic can you pull off? Gonna have a very long service game. In the middle, off the hands, Favor Anyanwu. Pardon me. finishes things off recently into the game. Her first point of the game seals the match. U.S. with a display of power and finesse and all-around volleyball. There's Anyanwu going off hands to pick up the final point of the match. And they now know they will play for gold tomorrow. Who they will play against, we don't know. That's still to be determined. Confirmation of the score, 25-20, 25-13, and 25-12. The U.S. just put their foot on the gas as this game went along. They will look to wrap things up tomorrow. Puerto Rico or Canada would love to stop it. We'll get the final stats here in just a moment. Dominican Republic will play for bronze, and they will play the loser of the evening's game. As I mentioned, Canada and Puerto Rico. There are the stats. U.S. in charge. Look at those kills, a 20-point margin. Some errors on the Dominican Republic. Blocks the U.S. 11 aces also. And that's despite 12 service errors for the U.S. So we have an advantage everywhere else on the court. You can go for it. And the U.S. indeed did that. Taking this one 3-0. As I mentioned, they will go for gold to wrap up this competition tomorrow. One match still to come, the other semifinal. That features the hometown, the home nation, Canada, taking on Puerto Rico. That one is coming up in just about an hour and a half's time. Look to join you then. Look back at some of the highlights from today's game on behalf of the crew here in Toronto. My name is Gavin Day, and I will talk to you in just a little bit.
After the man.